off we go.
Able to set foot on a whole other planet? Well, I know Monarch's a moon. I think it counts anyhow.
Long as there's paying work, you can count me in.
Alright. Off we go. We could do some more side quests on the way, like we could do some more Parv stuff. I think it'll let us. I guess we can find out. Okay, let's go to the journal. Quest type, side quest, companions. Don't bite the sun. Buy a dustback casserole. Find sweetheart cakes. Alright, we'll do that. So, one's in Stellar Bay, which you're going to anyway. Oh, and one's on Monarch. Yeah, so that works. It's all going to the same place anyway. We'll talk to people on the ship now too, now that we've done like a semi-major quest, see if they have anything new to say. I gotta remember to talk to Ada.
Did you bring me anything? New parts? Last weekend's crossword puzzle? Preferably not already filled out this time.
Sometimes I wonder about Mr. Hawthorne. What was he like? Why'd he make the computer a talkie? You think he got lonely, flying about on his own?
I gotta be very careful not to accidentally. I'm sure there'd be like a prompt or whatever. But I don't want to accidentally tell one of the crew members that they can go away, leave. So I remember when I was playing Dragon Age, there was some conversation that we had where I accidentally said something I didn't realize would have really bad outcomes. Oh my god, I just remembered how the Dragon Age playthrough ended on stream. So bad.
Good to see you, boss.
No, nothing new for him. What's up, Ellie?
Something on your mind?
Morgan, you lost her up there. Or Morgan, yeah. Morgan was the one. It kept happening. But I also remember the end. And who all I mean, I don't know if it's probably not a spoiler, but who all we had to leave us at the end. Spoilers. Pretty much everyone. Alright, no, nothing new from her either, surprisingly. Yeah, but Morgan was the one. Oftentimes, I would say something, I was like, I wonder what this part of the conversation will go to. And that was like the end of that part, and she just got mad at me.
Welcome back, Captain. Now that you have acquired a nav key to Stellar Bay, would you like me to contact Dr. Wells?
Sure, put him on the screen.
Well done. You'll love Monarch. Exotic climate, violent native species, fascinating culture, really. You'll need to speak with Hiram Blythe. He's known as the information broker, and for good reason. If anyone knows where I can find those chemicals, it's Hiram. I need those chemicals to revive the Hope's colonists. They can help us fight back against the board. They can help us set things right. If we don't put a stop to the board, they're going to drive this colony toward a complete societal collapse. You'll see what I mean when you arrive on Monarch.
You sound like you've been to Monarch.
No, never. Monarch is a hotbed of political activity. I can't imagine why Hiram set up shop there. Cuisine, perhaps?
Where should I start?
You'll want to hire the services of a skilled guide. I recommend a hunter by the name of Nyoka. Frequents the drinking establishments of Stellar Bay. Very hard to miss. Once you have everything you need, make your way to Hiram Blythe's compound.
XP. You're not sure, you're not convinced he has good intentions for the Hope? You don't think he's just trying to save the entire Hope colony ship out of just the goodness of his heart? And that everyone that wants him are just mistaken? They've got it wrong. I've got some questions for you.
In my lab. I'll answer any questions you have. Best of luck.
To his lab, huh?
Everyone on the Hope is counting on you.
Ooh, level up. And it's an even number, so we got a new perk. I'm gonna keep pumping into long guns. I want that 100. We're at 91 with our bonuses. Almost there. All right. What perk was I thinking about last time? Extra carrying capacity sounds really good, but health restored on kill. Like I said, it seems good, but if we're full health, it does nothing, so it's not going to help us all the time. Cooldown for each of your kills could also be good. Chance to reset a companion ability cooldown when using the other companion's ability. I mean, we could also put it up here, right? 50 kilogram carrying capacity. 5 base armor. Walk speed. Damage when alone. The tinted dialogue is only when we have no companions, so I don't want that one. So I'm thinking about either health restored per kill. Actually, this is probably better. Tactical time dilation per kill, because it restores 25%, which means if we're killing quickly while in tactical time dilation, it's going to restore it while we're in it, which is nice. Wise reminds you a lot of some of the old school RPGs back in the late 80s and 90s. Hey, Satirical Sniper, welcome in. Yeah, it's a really good game so far. I'm enjoying it a lot. Hasn't been any part of the game that I've not enjoyed so far, which is, you know, saying something. All right, I think the Reaper sounds like a good idea. How you doing, Sniper? Oh, I never gave Felix his perks. I should give them to him. Persuasion when he's in the party. Less threat generated. Base health. I'm just gonna give him base health. Percent damage to cowering enemies. Seems good. Last message got buried. Dismiss that he's one band, but how many shady mofos does someone have to know? Well, and work with before it's obvious you aren't do good for goodness sake person. Trying to break the law generally, hence I don't know many arms dealers. That's a good point. Long night at work, try to finish up your first run through so you can do the second run. Just murder everyone. That seems like that's what everyone's doing on their second playthrough, or like Rakes here in our channel. And just doing it from the first.
Our community grew.
Sniper, thank you for the follow, Sniper. Glad you found the channel. Welcome in. Feel free to hang out, lurk, you know, participate. 20% damage to cowering enemies. I mean, that goes pretty good with our... Yeah, I'm gonna... Yeah, okay, I'll try it. You always respec. I need to take him out with us sometime. But, you know, it's always ladies' night. Alright. So, to Monarch we go. For the first time. So everybody, landing pad, warning, dangerous. Cascadia landing pad. Alright, we'll go to the first one. What do you do for work, Sniper, if I don't, or if you don't mind me asking? I don't mind. Playing aliens in the next minute, playing Dear Abby to a confused lesbian. It's a good way to put it. Yeah, I mean, this game follows that kind of, you go through parts of the game where you're just killing stuff for long periods of time. And then you go through long periods of dialogue and, like you said, helping a confused lesbian get clean for her first dates. IT for a hotel group. Whoa. It's crazy. It'd be like being on like Ganymede or something, you know? Or the moons of Jupiter. Pretty cool. Sci-fi games. Like playing them, they also make me sad. You know? It's like, I'll never get to go anywhere like this. But luckily I was born in this age, so we can just go in the game. Please, dungeon. Save me, Max. This place doesn't look friendly as I was thinking. Xbox. Yeah. Yep. I'm not doing that.
Hold on there. I gotta sign you in.
Grim.
Don't think I've seen you around. That means you must be new to Stellar Bay. You are new here, right?
You seem surprised.
You must have seen those UDL gunships on your way in. There's only 3 of them these days. Still, they tend to scare folk off.
What are they doing out there?
Welcome back. Your steadfast loyalty is greatly appreciated.
Davey. Hey, Davey, thank you for the resub. 16 months. Ah, you seem surprised. Davey, thank you for the resub. Love the sandwiches, Davey. Thank you for the continued support, Davey. How many times is this guy gonna say Davey, Davey? Thanks, Davey. Any of the Expanse video bought it? No, I haven't yet. I remember Rakes just telling me that I need to watch it back when he was like watching the first season. But it's on my to watch list, which is very long, but I haven't had time yet, but yeah, I want to. What are they doing out there? What's going on, Davey? Thank you again.
You may not have heard, you being new, but Stellar Bay hardly ever gets off-road traffic. Us being cut off by the board and all. Which means I never get to do this part, but I've been practicing, so here goes. On behalf of Monarch Stellar Industries, welcome to Stellar Bay, home of the freshest sal tuna in Halcyon. Please state your name for the record.
Captain Adam. Your favorite space show? God, I need to watch it. There's so many things I need to watch. The only thing my wife and I are current on in shows right now is The Good Place. Expanse, show story, find it mediocre. Oh, you like a lot of the actors, but you don't like the show or story as much? Eye patch vendor. Every other person has an eye patch.
Swell. There's one for the logs. I'm even gonna give you your own entry code. I'm not supposed to do that. It's against procedure, but Mr. Sanjar isn't so strict about the rules here. Besides, I got a lot of empty entries to fill.
Was this the first someone that's not strict about the rules? Stellar Bay really that isolated? You're not what I expect to find a Monarch. I'm gonna have a look around town. I'm gonna say, is it really that isolated?
We don't get ship traffic in town. Only off-worlders who do make it out here are Sublight. They got a base in Fallbrook. And thank the stars for them, or we would have run out of Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch years ago.
You're not what I expected to find a Monarch. That's kind of a rude thing, isn't it? Such a TV fair.
Oh, that'll just make Mr. Sanjar's day if you tell him. The board makes up lots of nasty stories about raptidons and cannibals and whatnot. But that's all outside our walls. Mostly.
Are you saying the board's been lying about this place?
Oh, sure. It makes Stellar Bay sound like a rotten place, but it's not so bad. Get a good breeze going, and the sulfur smell mostly covers up the fishy smell. Anyway, Mr. Sanjar's got lots to say on that subject. Kinda goes over my head, though.
Ah, yes. Smell of sulfur to drown out the rotten fish.
Mr. Sanjar will be mighty pleased to meet you. If you see him over at headquarters, maybe you could tell him I did a bang-up job of welcoming you?
Absolutely.
Oh, and if you're headed that way, maybe you could do me a favor?
Sure, I'm an errand boy.
I got this Rizzo's Rangers Tosswell poster coming in on the next Sublight shipment, signed by the Black Hole himself. Only I haven't heard anything in a while. You think you could check with Celia to see if it's come in?
Who is the Black Hole?
That's Bertie Holcomb. Only one of the greatest Tossball hackers ever.
I wonder if he's kin. Dad had family that worked for Rizzo's. I never got to meet them.
Everyone's heard of him, even on Monarch. We still get some of the games. You been living in a sulfur pit or something?
Actually, I've been in hibernation for decades.
You're real funny. Guess I don't feel so bad for missing what goes on in the rest of Stellar Bay.
Asked about your poster. The poster sounds pretty valuable.
I couldn't really say. I'm just a fan of the game. But the fancy collector types say the more people see these things, the less valuable they are. And I figure my poster's been passed around by more than a few people by now.
All right, I'll get it.
Thanks a bunch. Celia works
I'm a
with
messenger boy. I'm a delivery boy.
the bar. She's always there, so you can't miss her.
No matter what game I play. All right. Let's see how big this town is. Anything back here to loot? The first thing I do is look for things to steal. Anyone over here? No, just my crew. They're used to this kind of behavior. All right. They're not using it. It's in a box behind some building somewhere. They have no need for it. Vending machine, Rizzo's, Space Choice, and Anti-Cleos all lined up together. Interesting. We'll find those hidden weapons.
If you want to talk to the boss, she's in the back of the warehouse.
Back of the warehouse. Whoa. Hey there, guy.
Fresh blood at last. Stellar Bay could use some.
I'll be keeping my blood, thanks. Check on it when you fly back to the planet. But could you ask the person down the road? Yeah. All reliable. Go to light weapons so far.
What are the chances of all the times and places we could have been born?
Yeah.
We're here, light years from Earth, going about our lives.
Every time the punch clock peals, a worker earns his meals.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I thought you were quoting It's a Wonderful Directorate.
Party to Ellie. Where does he keep all the stuff he steals? Ellie, don't ask, kid. Parv, have you ever heard of Nature's Pocket? No. It's a Wonderful Directorate, yeah. Tis the season. Can't go in here. Okay. It's back way in. You know what? Let's just go where we're supposed to go. I'm sure we'll have the Yacht Club. Hey there, Nyoka.
And the little bastard's slippery, right? On account of its blood, so it's sliding all over the place, trying to crawl away. Getting so I can't tell the blood from the mud.
Let's just keep listening.
But I gotta get in there, get right in that baby rap's stomach and dig it out. If so much as a drop of stomach acid got on that medallion, shit, I don't know what I'd do. Might be I'd hunt every damn wrapped out there. Right. What are you staring? Wait. You ain't from around here. Who are you?
I'm Adam. Pleasure to meet you.
Ooh, charmer. Don't get a lot of that around here. Folks mostly grump at me about how I should join the MSI payroll. Nice change of pace. Buy me a drink, will you?
Stay in chat. You look like you've had enough. Told you can get me to an information broker. Yeah, let's just cut to the chase, this drunk lady.
Well. Let's get down to brass nuts then, shall we? Wait, that ain't it. Brass rats? Let's talk business.
Get down to brass nuts.
I'm headed back out there after I sober up. You want a guide sooner than that? You'll have to get me something to clear my head.
Of course. What do you need?
Outstanding! Our dispensary here maintains a stock of, well, I don't rightly know what they are. Steroid or caffeine somethings? Pills. They're very good. I'm cut off for them.
Quote of the day.
On account of needing one just about every damn day. But I'm sure
Down
you
to
got
brass
your
nuts.
wily ways. Fetch me one and we'll be all set.
If I can't get you a steroid or caffeine something or another, steroid or caffeine something, don't even know what you're taking? You mean caffeinoid? That stuff's just a stimulant. Yeah, we'll go with medical. Our medical knowledge.
Well, they work. We got a deal or what?
Alright, I'll get your drugs. Hey, McGuire.
Well, well.
Nice mustache.
Often we see new folk in Stellar Bay. First drink's on me, stranger.
Thanks.
Enjoy. If you plan on sitting through Nyoka's stories, you might could use a few.
I could use a few and telling them myself.
Now what can I do for you?
You've heard of balls of steel. Now experience brass nuts. Yeah, not tax. See what you have. How well do you know Nyoka? She's sitting right there, but you know what?
Anyone who spends any amount of time in this bar is bound to get to know Nyoka. On account of her being here so often herself. And I don't mean that unkindly.
So this is interesting.
Anyone who's rid us of as many beasts as you have is entitled to a few drinks. Something else I can do for you?
So this is the first time I've ever heard that name outside of my family. I have a great aunt. One of my great aunt's name is spelled the same way, and we pronounce it Nyoka, and she goes by Noki for short. It's the first time in my life I've ever seen that name anywhere other than my great aunt. Be drunk, but at least you'll be awake. It's got me through this dangerous wilderness. Not used to seeing new faces around here.
Not since Amber Heights. These days we have more leaving than coming. Off to join the Iconoclasts or some such.
Why is this place called the Yacht Club? Actually, let's ask about Amber Heights first.
Bunch of marauders broke into the executive compound.
No, she's neither of those things.
Corporations pulled out of Monarch not long after. I thought everyone knew. But then that was 10 years ago. Still feels fresh to us every time we look at our walls, though.
Is she a pink-haired black woman? No. Black woman quote would have worked then. See if the bot pulls it. If it is, I don't even know what to say. That would be incredible. The chances of it pulling a specific quote obviously are getting lower and lower. When this dwarf child comes of age, he's going to find us. Nope. Why is this place called the Yacht Club?
Thought it had a
that would have been crazy if it pulled that quote.
Name's the first advertising anyone sees, after all.
Are there any yachts in Stellar Bay?
Nope. But a man can dream.
Alright. Quote 1124. One night I was bored, so I took a ski trip to the local mountains. While I was there, the Sherpas were kind and carried all my things up the mountain. Once I reached the top, I decided to kill them, as one does, and molest their bodies. I was just a little bored. Oh my god, what a quote. Pick fitting quotes, doesn't it? What a terrible quote. I was talking about the ancestor. Honest. I need to start using these things. I know. We just haven't needed to. You know what? I haven't needed all this money either, though. Claw rake. It's like a normal rake, only smaller and with claws. Do announcement day? Yeah. Alright, let's see what's around here.
We don't get many outsiders.
So I'm beginning to believe. Well, you have a name.
New face, huh? You from Offworld?
Yep, Captain Adam, the Unreliable.
A ship captain? Well, I'll be. Here, let me buy you a drink. Consider it an MSI welcome. Why don't you grab a chair? Sit a spell and revel with us.
By the smell, he's been reveling enough for you both already.
Hey, Hytala. How's it going? 2840. I think Hytala. Wait, Hytala, were you at 10 not too long ago? And now you're at 9? Or am I misremembering that you were at 10? Did you move up one? Looks very Resident Evil. What are you celebrating?
Me and my friends have taken our destiny into our own hands. We're untethered, free of responsibility and worldly cares.
You were at 9.
as long as we don't
Gruntwork's the one at 10. Yeah, yeah.
But until the
There it is.
windfall's gone, we're riding high. See, we just walked out on our work. Had enough, we did. So now we're striking.
What could be so bad it would make you walk off the job?
It ain't any one
16.
thing but the sum of it all, having to work longer shifts for less bits. And the wages we do earn don't cover as much as they used to. Our supervisor Velma goes on and on about quarterly profits and meeting quotas. But that ain't what Sanjar promised us. Velma refuses to negotiate, so we're refusing to work. We won't go back until she agrees to pay us fair and proper. Us on Monarch, we're free from the board, you know? We have the right to lobby for better hours and pay.
Number 16. That's still awesome. I mean, look at that, man. 16 people with over 2,200 hours. That's unreal. I have to be pretty good with negotiations. Of course I am.
You look like the type who tends to come out on top. Not like us cogs, trying to be the squeaky wheel, but just getting deadlocked. It's been days, but Velma won't even hear us out. Maybe you could just make her listen to our demands.
I'll mediate on your behalf. Sure.
You would do that? We sure are lucky.
For a stranger, absolutely.
Today. I knew drinking up here would be good for more than the view.
All right, you talk to Velma.
Sure thing. What did you want to discuss?
Chara's going to fire Velma if you don't return to work. How long can you afford to miss work? Suggestions for how to put pressure on Velma to negotiate. I can already lie to him. I mean, I've been standing right in front of him. Surely he would know. Little sleep while lurking helped your mood. Flu hasn't gave up. But tomorrow, is your psychiatrist tomorrow? Man, that's all. I'll feel better. Pones, you're almost at 1,000. Thank you, Pones. Thank you guys for all the hours, of course. How long can you afford to miss work?
Not forever, but we've each saved up our bits, and I stashed them safe in my home by the diner. I reckon we could last a week or two at least.
Any suggestion for how to put pressure on Velma?
If I knew that, I'd have tried it. Talking reasonably got me nowhere. Maybe you'll fare better. The others wanted to blackmail her, but we're above that. Besides, them are just rumors. We got no proof they're true.
What's this about blackmail?
I would never endorse such an untoward tactic, you know, but, well, there's rumors that Velma's taking a cut off the profits. So far, it's just gossip, you know, but if there was any proof to be had, it'd be in the Saltuna warehouse, I reckon.
Saltuna. Alright. I know. You're just some random ship captain. Could you tell our boss to pay us more? I'm sure she'd listen to you. Absolutely, stranger. Whoops. Why do I keep taking out my gun? It's accidental. Ladies, you stay over there. I am using the bathroom or something. Or something less suspicious.
Coming.
Yep. Done. I know, that's how it's in all these. I mean, I know it's like a game thing, right? They kind of have to do that, but... By now. Monarch Stellar. Ooh, what is this? Whisper Quiet Muzzle. Firing noise minus 66%. Bulk attachment that can be fitted to the muzzle of any Earth standard caliber weapon. Dramatically reduces the muzzle blast and flash during firing. Enable in covert kills. This room real quick while I inspect it. Deep performance anxiety. Door inspection. Sounds pretty good. I don't know if I want to buy it or not, though. What's this? Several phrases have been marked off. Nyoka bar talk bingo sheet. Right between the eyes. There were 3, no, 4 of them. That rapt was this big. Took it down with one shot. Buy me a drink. Alright.
I wonder sometimes what they're doing on...
Already looked over here.
Uh-huh.
I think they're watching the same serials, following the same...
What's this building? Let's find out.
Could I get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note
Oh, it's Celia.
Greetings,
Greetings.
and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
She's quite upbeat. So, exchange about, you having money trouble? Grim asked me to check with you about his toss ball poster. I'm just looking around. Let's ask her about that. Number one. It's almost 2. Thank you. How most people aren't the main character of a story in life. Doing people's taxes. Guys partying with buying islands, robbing people. Becoming president. Which one of you do you think are the player? It's a good point.
Or is he not paying you on account of how he tried to fix the thing his own self and busted it even worse, and then said you wasn't fixing it fast enough, so
we are
he's docking your
NPCs.
wages again? Not that I got any prior experience with such.
Parv.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid.
What? Do you normally blow your money on Ratodon parts?
Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or a mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really.
Why are you buying so much from Sebastian? I mean, Seb.
So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else.
I reckon she's got a little bit of a squish on this fella.
He's sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff, and some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell.
Am I just like... Am I a relationship consultant? Like, in the future, they don't have Tinder or whatever, so I'm, like, responsible to go around and try to hook everyone up? Yeah, I'll talk to him.
Would you? I'd appreciate that so much. Maybe don't tell him I wanted you to ask. Just that you met this really nice lady named Celia, and she seemed... Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work.
What do you see in this Sebastian?
He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises.
Good to have standards, I guess.
I know what I'm looking for.
Space Tinder? Stars, no. Space. Everyone's even more awkward than on Earth. Short story idea in the future. Tinder is replaced with matchmaker androids. Yours is malfunctioning. You really want to be with someone you can't talk to? There are other fish in the sea. That's all you know. You really want to be with someone you can't talk to? Celia?
You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny.
There are other fish in the sea.
Not in Stellar Bay. Everyone else who isn't taken either smells like salt tuna or they're my boss. Besides, a man with a good smile and a proportionate upper to lower body ratio isn't something to pass up.
Okay. Just the action. I'm in Stellar Bay. I'm not taken.
Sorry, sometimes I get carried away.
I know we just met, but you know what? I met another guy just a moment ago, and I'm basically helping him unionize against his company. And anyway, I won't bore you with this space. All right, Sanjar Nandi.
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me.
How can 32% in savings not moisten your loins? Just met you. This is crazy. negotiate my salary. Go buy alien lizard gizzards for me. Doesn't have quite the same ring to it. Shoot this guy in the face right now. No, I'm gonna go with number 1.
Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Noted.
But not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself?
Space, Color Jepsen is more awkward than on Earth. This is far enough in the future that she's either dead or an android. Just looking for the information broker. Me, I'm charting my own path, going where the wind takes me. Let's see what he says to that.
What a charming notion. One doesn't meet many free spirits in Halcyon. Not outside Tartarus prison, anyway. Forgive me, I'd be positively enraptured. Only, I take it this means you aren't here for Saltuna.
Hey, it could always be both. Afraid not. If I have to eat one more weird science project passed off as food in this sprat effed colony, I'm gonna stab someone. I'm gonna say it could be both.
Now, there's no need to humor me. I'm used to this particular letdown.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing
3.
all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic and athletic disappointments. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're
This
down
guy.
to the drawing board.
He's all about just randomly sprinkling things like that through the normal conversation, right? Erotic disappointments, bosoms, moist thighs or whatever. Moist loins, I mean. Anyway, what exactly are you hoping to accomplish?
Community grows.
Reith, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. What exactly are you hoping to accomplish? If you're free of the other corporations, why would you want to bring them back? Sounds like a personal problem. We've got other concerns. Let's go with number 2. 32% loin moistener. It's a high rate of failure.
Surviving alone
That's
isn't
true.
as easy as it looks. Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
He's got some RGB going on back there. Tired of scrounging and scraping by? Is that it? Sounds like you're freer than anyone else in Halcyon. Why not embrace it? That's what I say too.
Exactly what I would have said, if I'd been paying attention.
You talk like Graham.
Freedom always
Graham.
sounds nice, doesn't it? It makes a rather pretty slogan. But if you sit down and tally up the costs, how you provide for yourself in the absence of aid, how you protect yourself from a hostile galaxy, it starts to lose its shine.
So what do you mean to do about it?
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
Ingenious plan? Don't get me wrong, I'm starting to admire your sand, but I bet you could overcomplicate a sisty sandwich.
What a charmingly roguish turn of phrase. Allow me to express my thanks at your confidence and assure you that my plan is indeed sufficiently complicated.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
What's the plan?
It's a two-pronged approach. The first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
How do you mean to do that? How long did it take you to figure that you need to defend your city? How do you plan on doing it?
With a Bolt 52 cartridge, of course. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
This Bolt 52 sounds useful. What is it?
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordinance.
Never realized fighting the bureaucracy could be this interesting.
It is quite the rush.
Ordnance or ordnance? Where do I find one? I'm going to use the intelligence answer. It's kind of a... No, we'll see what he says.
An ordinance, of course. We do things in a civilized fashion here. Not like Graham's iconoclasts.
There's nothing the board likes so much as paperwork.
Can a legal document really be that important? So where do I find this ordinance? Which out of the Bolt 52? This other part of your plan. Let's ask number 1.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you just crawled out from under a rock.
Kinda.
Forms and procedures are everything in Halcyon. And this one is located in the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. And these days, it's overrun with marauders and raptidons.
Why are you saying it that way?
Saying what? Which way?
Arms. You're saying arms instead of arms.
That's just what it's called. It's supposed to stand for something, but I forget what.
Sure, I'll know it when I find it.
Oh, and while you're at it,
how can I hear the difference?
Terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do for you?
Paranoid Reezy. I'm looking for an information broker.
Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak.
Can hear capital letters.
Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate.
Are you talking in caps lock, sir? How do I get to Devil's Peak?
You'd head south along the road and look for a mountain to the west. Not that I'd advise it. It's a terribly dangerous trek. But if you insist on going, I'd recommend taking a local guide. Nyoka would be a prime candidate.
If you can keep her sober.
You have such high perception, you can hear capitalization. Truly superhuman. That's right, so... Were you holding down the shift key when you said arms, sir? Questions about MSI and the good old days. Met Grimm, the landing pad guard. Let's go, number 1.
Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes.
How did MSI get kicked off the board in the first place? That's a very good question.
I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws.
Meaning that you initiated your own removal from the board? Getting ahead of yourself again. This is why you can't trust corporations and their so-called laws. We'll go number 1.
Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. But back then, it was known as Terra 1.
Terra 1 and Terra 2, I see the board put their best people on that one. Let's go with what happened to the other corporations.
As you may have noticed, this planet has more than its share of hazards. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out.
But not MSI, right?
Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up.
I wonder what he means by improve. How forward-thinking of you. Reforms are for quitters, Sanjar. Let's discuss this another time. Forward-thinking.
It's humane. But it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data bears that out.
I hope you'd treat them nice, whether it was good business or not, Mr. Sanjar. That's what being a community means. Treating people right, because it's the right thing to do.
Like that's what you saw in Edgewater?
That's what I was about to say.
Come on. People look out for themselves.
A noble thought, Miss Holcomb. Unfortunately, noble thoughts rarely sway board.
How do you know her last name there, guy?
We learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms.
How do you know Ellie's last name? How do you know anything of Ellie in this conversation? Ellie and Parv. As far as I know, it's the first time we've all met, but Leadership didn't embrace your ideas. You're the board's own tools against them. Clever. We keep talking about. We'll go number 1.
No, they laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along with everyone else.
Yet here you are. Hope you gave them the finger. Guess you missed the transport. Let's discuss this. Yeah, here you are.
Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI.
Must have pissed off some real big suits to get stuck with that.
On the contrary, I wrote lots of very important reports on behalf of top MSI officials before I was able to achieve this position. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws. I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently.
What exactly, or why exactly do you want back on the board? What's the hazard clause? Don't seem to think much of Graham. Why does he want back on the board?
Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
If you can't beat him, might as well join him and reach into their pockets.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation.
That's pretty much what he said at the beginning of the conversation too, I guess. Treated you pretty roughly. Is it worth going back to that? Can't fault you for your practicality. Seems to be anything's better than the corporate yoke. We go for number 1.
I'm not a man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship.
What leverage?
Don't get ahead of yourself, sir.
Yes,
Thank you, Artwork.
It'll be easier to explain once we have the Bolt 52.
I'd kind of like to know now.
The reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations.
What's the hazard clause?
It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
But wait, what happens to the folks stuck on the wrong side of dangerous?
Well, I'm afraid the welfare of a few hundred people is too minor a figure into the board's risk assessments.
Have they invoked it on Monarch?
Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way.
You don't seem to think much of Graham. That's kind of going out of left field all of a sudden, but... So what's next on here?
He and his followers call themselves the Iconoclasts. Lawless anarchists, all of them. If anyone on Monarch deserves the reputation the board's pinned on us, it's them.
Got strong feelings on the matter.
I'm trying to build something here. They only want to destroy things, and they risk ruining Monarch for all of us. It isn't just that they drain our people and resources. Every radical act they commit cements Halcyon's image of us all as destructive rebels, and pushes us further from the rest of the colony. He's lucky the board doesn't take him seriously enough to keep more than a few UDL gunships patrolling Monarch.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame we haven't seen one around Monarch in a long while.
What can I do for you?
Met Grim, the landing pad guard.
I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff?
He did a bang-up job. That guy's a world-class moron. How rude would that be? Number 1.
Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you?
Man, these people are...
Rank up. Hold the line. This hamlet shall not fall.
Starbits! Starbits, thank you for the host in the raid. Appreciate it, Starbits. Those coming in from Starstream, welcome or welcome back. I'm AdamVsEverything, and we're playing through the Outer Worlds for the first time. So if you know anything about the game, please don't let me know. But if you don't know, sit back, relax, lurk, participate, whatever you want to do. Let's go to Starbits. Welcome in. World of Warcraft, of course, of course.
Have you talked to
How you doing, Star?
yet? What did he say?
Said 16 months too. Wait, what? Grim asked me to check with you about his Toss Wall poster. No, thank you for the host of the raid. Appreciate it, guys. And it's a bounty night too, so even if you don't want to watch the Outer Worlds, if you leave a lurk, if you count as a viewer, it'll help stream out a ton tonight. So thank you for that, Star. Haven't been Outer Worlds. Gonna hop off. Thank you, Starbits. Yeah, I'm in the 3rd spot. I won't say anything else about it, but it's a good game so far. Hopefully you're enjoying it. And thank you again. Have a good night. Grim asked me to check with you about his Toss Ball poster.
You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome so far.
But if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask.
Thanks, Star.
She's in the warehouse. But I'll warn you, Grim wore her patience thin a long time ago.
Want to talk to you about Sebastian.
Oh, have you talked to him?
Not yet. So it was just the same options. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and a comment below. You can also subscribe to the channel by clicking this button. It helps out a ton. And after all of that, be sure to check out the next video right up here. Of course, as always, thank you guys for watching.